Lucy fluffed her short mop of curls, which had gotten mussed when she reached for her wallet. I had to pay for a Coke when Bill and I flew down to Florida for his uncle's funeral. That's on domestic flights. They take good care of you on these transatlantic flights. So relax. Watch a movie. This is supposed to be a vacation. Sue was right, reflected Lucy, as she pumped her heels up and down to avoid blood clots in her legs. This was her first trip out of the country, except for a few vacations in Canada, and she'd been looking forward to it for months. She'd always wanted to go to Europe, and now she finally had the chance. A few rows farther down the aisle, she could see her friend Pam Stillings's elbow, recognizable from the colorful sleeve of her tie-dyed shirt. It was due to Pam's job teaching yoga at Winchester College's night school that Lucy and Sue, as well as their friend Rachel Goodman, had learned about the trip. Only $2,000, and that includes airfare and hotel, admissions, everything except lunch and dinner for 9 whole days, Pam had explained at one of their regular Thursday morning breakfasts at Jake's Donut Shack. We should all go. This professor, George Temple, he's in my yoga class, is organizing the whole thing. All we have to do is sign up. Our kids are grown, and our husbands can manage by themselves for a week, said Sue. Let's do it. I don't know if Ted will let me go for such a long time, said Lucy, who worked as a part-time reporter for the Tinker's Cove Penny Saver. Ted Stillings was the owner, publisher, editor, and chief reporter. He was also Pam's husband. I'll take care of Ted, promised Pam. Rachel Goodman smiled sadly, running her finger around the thick rim of her white coffee mug. Her big eyes were as dark as the black coffee. I'd love to go, but I can't leave Miss T for a whole week. Rachel provided home care for the little town's oldest resident, Julia Ward Howe Tilley, and was very fond of her. Molly could fill in for you, said Lucy, referring to her daughter-in-law. Patrick's almost a year old now. I think she'd enjoy getting out of the house, and I know Miss Tilley would enjoy seeing Patrick. Then I guess we're agreed, crowed Pam. We have to put down a deposit of $250 to hold our places, so give me your checks as soon as you can. It had seemed like a great idea at the time, but Lucy had no sooner written the check than she began to feel guilty. For one thing, unlike her friends, she wasn't an empty nester. Toby, the oldest, was married and settled on nearby Prudence Path with Molly and baby Patrick, and Elizabeth, next in line, was a senior at Chamberlain College in Boston. Sarah, however, a high school sophomore, and Zoe, in middle school, were still at home. Bill, her restoration carpenter husband, would have his hands full managing his work and keeping an eye on the 2 girls. Even worse, she realized, she'd missed Patrick's first birthday on March 17th. Don't be silly, Bill had argued when she voiced her concerns about leaving home for more than a week. You've always wanted to go to England, and this is your chance. And you can find a terrific present for Patrick in London. So Lucy had studied the itinerary and read the guidebooks and packed and repacked her suitcase several times. She'd even gone to the bank and changed 500 American dollars into 350 British pounds, which hadn't seemed like a very good deal at all. On the contrary, the bank manager had informed her, the pound was trading at $2 just a few months ago. You would have gotten only 250 pounds if you bought back then. I hadn't realized, said Lucy, tucking the bills with Queen Elizabeth's face on them into her wallet. Have a good trip, said the manager, giving her a big smile. Remembering the transaction, Lucy patted the little bulge her money belt made under her jeans, where she'd stowed her foreign money, emergency credit card, and a photocopy of her passport, just as the guidebook had advised. She checked the progress.